them and he, him pronouns. And one way that I think we can foster affirming communities in church and, general society at large environments. I think it sounds really cliche to say just to respect someone and treat them like a human being, but that's really that's really the main thing, right? And the way that looks, I think, is different for queer and trans people as opposed to other folks. So for me, it's about the most basic things like pronouns and my name change and things like that. Having been in environments that are not affirming, like it seems, again, like I said, like easy to say respect someone for who they are, but for me, those environments that weren't affirming always kind of came with a but, like we love you, but we want you to change, or we wish you wouldn't, and it's important to know that, being queer, being trans is not a defect. It's not something that needs to be changed. It's not something you need to fix. And that we are all just as beautiful as we are, and this is how we were made, right? Just like, anyone else in any other community, straight people, queer people, like, this is who we are, right? So, ways that you can kind of, at the most basic level, like respect someone's personhood like that is just like with pronouns and with people's names, when sometimes people transition and then they change their name, and that can be hard, and they change their pronouns, and for people who aren't used to that, I know that can be uncomfortable to like ask somebody, like if you don't know, and honestly it sounds corny to say practice, but like practice on your friends and your family, like asking like, oh, what are your pronouns? It kind of seems silly, I guess, but I do know that can be uncomfortable for people, but also I can only speak for myself and people I know, but it's actually can be affirming on its own to be asked, because it shows you that someone cares enough to respect you to ask, because they didn't know, that they didn't guess, like at the end of the day, guessing is not what you want to do if you're not sure, and even if it feels uncomfortable, it's better to ask than to guess. And if you're not sure in the moment or whatever, you can, just use somebody's name. If you don't know their pronouns right that second, you haven't had a chance to ask, or they haven't introduced you. It's really something that I've noticed a lot of people feel uncomfortable with, but it's not something that is hurtful to me. It's not embarrassing or strange to me. It's just part of life, right? So it's definitely more uncomfortable for the asker than it is for the person being asked. So that's just like some basic stuff, I think, that can help people to be more affirming in their communities and to folks in their communities.